Well, hello, and welcome back, everybody. Oh, let's take the BRB off of here. Um, we dealt with that more or less. Oh, definitely, actually, 100%. That was 100% dealt with. Anyway, um, so I apologize somewhat for my. Hold on, let me get the camera straight again. I had to move it earlier. Okay, then I'll get back to it. Okay, so first, let me get up the chat and say what we're doing here. We're working on Telebit. I'm the Node version is what's deployed. I'm working on the Pro version, which is going to be the Go version. I'm going to take these headphones off for now. I might put them back on later because I think I'm going to want to listen to the music. But anyway, um, so I already forgot what it was that I was just talking about. But that's that's AJ for you. Anyway, um, oh yeah, earlier Kiddo decided to get into the potted plant and eat dirt, and that was part of the abrupt. And then I got my wife is trying to vacuum a moth right now, so she's shrieking in the background because I was just hitting the record button as she walked. Anyway, okay, so yeah, um, thanks for joining in. I'm AJ O'Neill. Happy to have you. This is another live code session. We're doing Telebit. We're going to set up on DigitalOcean the pro version, and the goal here is to integrate Dash payments. So last year around this time, I or I think actually for the past 3 years running, one of my New Year's resolutions have been to integrate payments with Telebit, and that's kind of what got me whole started in the Dash community. Was that I was getting this PayPal integration set up, and then it caught Ryan's attention, and then blah blah blah. One thing led to another. But let's go ahead and pop it up, my friends. It is time to open focus. Leave all that babbling behind us. Or ahead of us, whichever way. Doesn't matter. Oh, I remember what I was going to say, and I will say it now. So in the last session, it was kind of a little performatory, meaning, you get in front of the camera, and at first it's just kind of rubber ducking because no one's actually watching, and then when you get a few watchers and whatnot that start to occur regularly, then you want to make the content better, and then I don't know, it just kind of made me nervous, and then I started, I guess, rambling, which sometimes you see me do that, and I that's what I'm labeling as performatory, is rather than sitting down to get the code done and think about what I'm here to do, I got sidetracked by thinking about the fact that I'm in front of a camera, which is not what I'm really here to do. Anyway. I was thinking about something. All right. So what I've done so far is I've already got a VM up on DigitalOcean. Let's see if I can just show this to you. We'll just go with this. Well, I guess I could show you the IP addresses because all of these things are things that are already public and whatnot. So yeah, let's go ahead and just put that out here. So I just set up v2.telebit.io, and then on Namecheap is actually where I have the domain, because IO domains are significantly more expensive on name.com, where I normally host. So much more expensive that it's worth it for the little bit of pain to use a different host than what I would normally use, or domain service than what I normally use. And the way that there's there's a lot of politics when it comes to the top level domains that are not the .com, .net, .org. There's price negotiations, etc. So I don't know that name.com is overcharging. Namecheap may have purchased more in bulk or something and gotten a better deal that way, or some such. So yeah, so I've got this set up. I haven't actually logged into the server yet, so we'll go through again the process of setting up a server for the first time, which is going to be pretty quick and easy because of webinstall.dev. So webinstall.dev, for those of you that are following along at home. I have here don't know if I don't know if I have it on this front page. Yeah, I do. SSH add user. So the way that I actually use this, let's see if this works out exactly the way I'm expecting. So we're going to have to do root at, and then we'll do v2.telebit.io, I think. And then I'm going to put in here this little bit to add the user. Oh, did I not set it up as telebit.io? Oh, I may not have copied it over to the DNS. No, I'm pretty sure I did. Let me go check back here. This is telebit.io. This may be a DNS issue that I can't solve. I may have to do something different than the way that I wanted to do it. Because, hold on, this would have to be tunnel dot. There we go. That's what I wanted. I also need to rename it over here in the interface. I can't call it v2 because I already have a wildcard that would match all first level subdomains. And so I need to have it star.v2. It can't be v2 itself. It has to be something that is above that. Just the way that DNS works. If you have star.example.com, then you cannot use anything else at example.com. Star takes priority over all other records. Well, I'm sure it's somewhat implementation dependent, but as per the spec, that's the case, is that the star takes priority. So this would be tunnel.v2.telebit.io. Okay. I renamed it over in the DigitalOcean interface. Okay, so with that all done, did you get it? It's as big as a bird, huh? Oh no. What was something left open? Oh, well, maybe when you opened the garage door earlier. Left it open for a few minutes. That's what you get. Okay, so now I can log back into this, but instead of using root, I can use nothing because my default SSH user is app. So here we are. So now I'm on a fresh DigitalOcean instance, and I'm trying to think if there is anything that we need to do. I probably need to enable some swap. And for that, I will do sudo su. There we go. So I have also a VPS utils, and one of them is add swap. And you can see what the stuff is right here. So I'll go ahead and add some swap space. I'm also going to get out of here now. Is there anything else that we're going to need to do system-wise? I don't think so. So we're not going to be able to use caddy on here like we normally would, and I started to explain this before, but with the way that Telebit works is it captures all TLS traffic for all domains. The traffic is encrypted, but it has an unencrypted name of the domain that's being visited. So this is how when the VPN services say that your ISP can track you, and you might say, oh, it's encrypted, they can't track me. They can heuristically track you. And the VPN, the amount of security that gives you on this sort of thing is relatively little, because typically on the other end you're logged into something. So if you're logged into Amazon, then we know, even if you're visiting through a VPN, if you're logged in, then you're no longer anonymous. So you're still being tracked on lots of different services. Even if you're using a browser like Brave, there's going to be heuristics and stuff that track you. But anyway, there's only so much you can do. There is some anonymity, some mixing with the VPN. But the point that I was going to make is that because you know the size of the response and you know the domain, you could look at a person's behavior on Wikipedia. And I think Wikipedia itself mitigates against this, but the category of attack, or not attack per se, but tracking, is that you can see unencrypted what domain names a person is visiting, And then if you can look at the length of the responses and you crawl the page, you can know how large that page is when it's encrypted. And so then you can just check the page sizes as a fingerprint, and then having crawled the site, you'll know which pages link to which pages, and then you can reconstruct that, and you can tell what pages a person has visited on a site if you have access to track that particular connection. So there are ways of that's why some people are concerned that the domain name is not encrypted in TLS. But the problem with encrypting it is then services like Telebit and all of the existing virtual hosting, meaning that there's multiple domains per IP address, would be broken. And there's ways to unbreak it, but again, then it just opens up another side channel. So, hello and welcome. How are you doing tonight? Feel free to let me know if you are new or returning. Okay, so first thing that I need to do, well, I say first thing all the time. For every set of steps, there's a new first thing. I'm going to go get, and I want to be able to host Telebit, the binary, on webinstall.dep. That's another thing that we're moving towards here, with moving from what is currently the donationware node version to what will be the Pro Go version. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And I was starting to say earlier, yeah. Because the way that TLS works, and Telebit doesn't decrypt the traffic. It passes the traffic through encrypted. So you get some of like I say, it's kind of a poor man's VPN. But this means that it needs to be, you can't have a load balancer or a web server in front of it, because the magic of Telebit is that it's looking at what's called SNI, or server name indicator headers in TLS, and then determining where to route the traffic. Okay. So this is the source, and really all that we need to do is compile it. We're going to need to, there's a lot of environment variables we need to set up. Let me go ahead and get this back up. So we'll set this up and we'll see how well we can do at getting a test service on my computer that we can communicate with, just a hello world. All right, so we're going to have a .env file. Yeah, the Acme email is actually going to be the Telebit email. We're going to have some sort of vendor ID. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to go ahead and document these so that I remember next time. So enables Acme with whatever provider. I don't know how I want to do this. Maybe I do want it to the side. I kind of want the individual user to get these emails, but I think technically I should be getting them for the service. Service providers email, vendor ID, a unique identifier for the Telebit provider. There we go. Secret. I don't remember what the secret is for. I'm going to have to look that up. tunnel relay. Isn't that what this is? Oh. Oh, okay, never mind. Um, duh. This is all client options here. I need to go look at, so we're going to go out of here, leave this. Those are all client options. We need to be looking at the relay itself. Feel free to ask questions. This is my own project, so I can answer stuff about it, and I don't expect anybody else to know that much about it. But it's similar to, there are a variety of poor man's VPN services like Telebit. In fact, I have a friend who maintains a list of something in the realm of, I think it's probably grown well past 20 at this point. But the most popular one that people are familiar with that's fairly similar in nature is ngrok. I'm going to go ahead and throw telebit.io in the chat here. So if you want to check out the main page and kind of see what it's about. And that, again, that's the Node version. We are deploying V2, as it were, the Go version. Okay. So only port 443 is public. Acme HTTP01 makes a lot of sense. Okay. So these are all the things that we're going to have to figure out what they mean, and I'm going to have to put back in there. Now, all of this, hopefully, will be under the examples. We should have different envs. So I should have there's a client.env. I should have a relay.env. There it is. Oh, good. Okay, this is perfect. Maybe not as perfect as I had hoped. Why do I need the DNS provider? I gotta remember that. Okay. Anyway, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and make the service directory. Oh, it's already there. Make the Telebit relay directory. And then under Telebit relay, basically we're going to just have a bin. And then inside of that, we're going to have a Telebit relay. And here we're going to have a .env, and we're just going to fill it up with these things. So let's see what this should be. I have a nice little function as part of my fish and bash shells that just outputs some random gobbledygook. We'll go ahead and use that. And I'll just pick a character at random there and fill in the dash. I guess I'll just leave the dash, that's fine. Okay, do I care about more verbose logging? Probably. API hostname. This is the domain name that should be captured for the API as opposed to being routed downstream. Sure. Let's say it's devices.v2. So this is where the devices will contact in, where it should bind and listen. First proxy for matching incoming requests. Oh, okay, good. So we're going to have, oh, this is perfect. So what we're going to run is a node service that's going to manage the users and the dash payments. And that will be mgmt.devices.telebit, whoops, .v2.telebit.io. Cool. All right. Telebit is narrowly scoped to handle network connections. The concerns of device manager authorization should be handled per each specific use case. Ah, yes. Okay, so the auth URL is when we authorize. So Telebit just worries about the network connection. It doesn't try to manage basically anything else. So it's going to get a token, and it's not going to basically be able to, that token it's going to treat as opaque. So when a Telebit relay server receives a token, it's going to pass that token off to the auth URL, This is the prefix for it, and then there's going to be something else after that. I probably should list those out, what they are. Let me go ahead and take a look. Let me just do screen. Do we have screen installed here? Yes, we do. Great. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new screen. Actually, first, let me get out of here and let me back up a little bit, because I prefer to start my screen from my home directory so that every new screen I create is also from the home directory. So, oh no, yeah, apt install -y fish. Let's go ahead and get fish in here. Okay, good. And then now I can run fish. Huzzah. Create another one, run fish. And then in this one, I'm going to go into the Telebit relay folder. That's the actual service itself. And then this one, I'm going to go into the source code folder. So what I was looking for, oh, I don't have RG. Let me go ahead and grab a couple of my favorite tools here. So all installing from Webby, nice and fast, as you can see. Okay, and for those that are joining in new that haven't seen me use RG all the time, RG is just a better grep. It's a modern grep, and it will respect your .gitignore, and it just knows common. It's much faster and gives you less noise, and it has all the right options enacted. You know, if you pipe it, or if you use it without a, if you direct it to a file, or whatever it is you're doing, redirecting standard in or standard out, it turns on and off the right options so that you get the color and the line numbers in the way that you'd expect them. Anyway, I was looking for auth URL, I think. I wanted to see where in the code auth URL was being used. Okay, and then we have little auth URL. Okay, so let's look for auth URL like this. Oops. And oh, wow, that's a lot more than I was expecting. Okay, /inspect. I think that, so we got /inspect, /ping. That's what I was looking for, is just where is this actually being used? It looks like it's just those two things. I'm going to do another, let me just do a // here and see what we get. Okay, inspect, register device, and ping. So I'm going to go ahead and make note of that. Probably back in here. .env. So this is going to be inspect, register device. Bless me. And this is going to be a new device token. And then, what was that third one there? Let me go back and look at that again real quick. Ping, okay. And then, I don't know why the, oh, I remember why the ping's there. The ping's there just as a hello. Just to be able to make sure, hey, is this still there? Is it still working? All right, hey everybody, how's it going? AJ here, I'm working on Telebit. Boop. Get a little bit more of my robust bust in the screen. All right, proxy traffic on port 80 to the given target. No, I don't think we need to worry about that. Acme agree, Acme email. So I'm just going to go with Telebit plus v2 at rootprojects.org. Acme relay URL. Uh-oh. Let me think about this. Acme relay. trying to think of why. We gotta double check on that too, real quick. I'm wondering if this is used all the time or not, because my guess is that it's. It should just use HTTP/01 unless I enable this, but let's go take a look. So basically, rather than, again, same thing as before, rather than having lots of different options for authorization, this is something I'm just learning more and more and more, and I think is really poignant. If we go to, I'm going to take a sidetrack for just a second, creedsofcraftsmanship.com. This is a talk that I posted recently. I still haven't categorized it. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the chat here. But this has just been so influential to me lately. And it's a talk on UI patterns, but I think it's one of the extremely rare talks that I've ever seen about UI that's really about software engineering principles that you can apply broadly to programming. And the basic idea is that rather than applying or providing lots of options and lots of configuration, just provide functionality. There's been this huge push in the industry towards declarative, which ends up being harder to build, harder to debug, harder to customize, because declarative, in the way that it's often used, is you're basically creating a domain specific language out of something like JSON or YAML or a subset of a programming language. You're creating a domain specific language to fulfill some purpose. And the idea is that you don't have to write code, you just have to provide configuration, or that's what it leans towards. But the problem with that is that then you end up writing really complex code. And so one of the things about this talk was, well, rather than creating complex code, create simple components that handle the most discrete aspect of the problem solution domain. And then have the ability to just replace one of those components if need be. And that's what I created this a few years ago. I think it was 2020 was when I wrote this Go version here. But because of the constraint of using Go, when you use JavaScript, everything's so pluggable. You can just hot load more JavaScript. You can hot load more stuff into your program. You've got everything's super dynamic. But with Go, I didn't want to have to build out a plugin system for all the things that I wanted to support, especially because you can't hot load stuff in Go. You compile it and whatever's there is there. And so instead I made these HTTP interfaces where if you want a different authorization strategy, do whatever you need to do. It's just this thing's just gonna spit out the token to your other service. Could be written in a different language, and you decide how to handle the token. And there's just an API contract. Telebit's going to hand you the token. You're going to hand it back details about what it needs to know about what that token is allowed for the Telebit service, what domains, any sort of constraints that the service needs to know about. And then same thing with the Acme relay. I didn't want to have to worry about there's, in JavaScript and Go, whatever, there's just dozens upon dozens of different plugins for different services. And I just wanted something that let's just put it out to HTTP, go fetch it, and figure it out from there. Anyway, let me get to the point of this. Let's see, DNS client, Acme relay. That looks like that might be the right way to go. Acme relay. I'm not seeing where it's actually making the call. Get Acme DNS01 provider. So this looks like the Acme relay is just for DNS01. I could be mistaken here. It doesn't look like it applies to the HTTP01. Okay, HTTP01. Yeah, so let's look at Acme HTTP 01 relay. I think I'm going to try just not turning this on and see what happens. Because what I would expect is that it's going to handle Acme for the domains that it responds to all on its own, that it doesn't need a relay. If I remember correctly, the reason that I put in this relay, let me think about this. I think I put in this relay because there was some situation where rather than the challenge request going all the way through the Telebit service down to the client, that the client was supposed to be able to contact the Telebit service, and the Telebit service would present that. And I think the reason was so that we didn't have to relay any port 80 traffic down to the device. So if you're running Telebit on a Raspberry Pi as a client, and you're connecting to a Telebit relay on DigitalOcean, when an Acme service does the challenge response for a TLS certificate via HTTP, you can simply hand off that to the Telebit relay service, if I remember correctly. Okay, let me go read my documentation a little bit more. I don't have any more documentation about that. Okay. I don't want to use DuckDNS. I don't want to use any of the DNS01 providers. I don't want to use a relay URL. Let me just double check this one more time. So Acme HTTP 01. Everything that's set up about that is right here. So I'm going to go in here again. Too much JavaScript in my daily diet here. Okay, let's read what this says. The base URL of the Acme HTTP 01 relay, if different from the Acme relay. Okay. Acme relay. The base URL of the Acme relay, if different from the relay's directives. Oh. Got it. So the Telebit relay's directives is what that actually means. I'm going to put that in there. So I don't remember. Let's see if it says in here about the directives. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure we are doing a .ignore on the vendor folder. I actually don't want to be searching anything in the vendor folder. So if you didn't know, there's a convention. So there's .gitignore, which is things that you want Git to ignore. And then there's .ignore, which is the generic ignore. So a lot of the files that have a .git prefix, they also have a convention prior to Git. So for example, .keep was a convention before .getkeep was a convention. .ignore was a convention before .gitignore was a convention. And so if you put a .ignore file, then you can put in things that you don't want to be searched when you use a search tool that obeys that, such as RG, ripgrep. And that will it'll obey your wishes. Okay, so what do we have here? Endpoints, terms of service, API host, tunnel, authn. Okay. Endpoints. Discover. Okay. I don't know if I want it like this. I need to have an example of this somewhere. So the way that I want well-known to work I think it should work. And I think that probably you'd have to register a well-known protocol in order for this to work. But basically, if you own a namespace for something, such as example.com, you should be able to put the things that are related to your schema namespace under .wellknown example.com just by default. So if you own it, then it's yours. Now, of course, things could expire and whatever, but I think that is a much more decentralized and future-proof approach than registering every time you want a schema, registering it at the top level of .wellknown. So .wellknown, for those that aren't aware, is it's a standard for if there are certain APIs that your web service supports that are well-known APIs, those APIs or the configuration to discover either the discovery endpoints for those APIs or the APIs themselves go under .wellknown. So they could be files. I think it was originally started because it would be a JSON file or an XML file that describes the service would go under well-known, but then you can just as well, of course, have dynamic APIs under there too. Okay, so let me see if I got this right. So this was a good idea. I don't know if I implemented it correctly. Well-known index.json. Index.json. Let me go take a look at this real quick. Examples, client.env. Index.json. Yeah. So basically, this is the discovery URL. What I should have called this is tunnel discovery URL, not tunnel relay URL. But I guess the same, you could say tunnel relay discovery URL or Telebit relay. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just going to note in the README, I guess the README of the relay itself. Do we have the relay here? Command. Command is management. Telebit. Yeah, I guess it'll go in here. Okay. API. Each Telebit relay will expose its discovery endpoint at, let's go with discovery. Or what are they, is it called directory? I think it's called the directory URL. I think they call them both. In OpenID Connect, I think it's called the discovery URL. In Acme/Let's Encrypt, I think it's called the directory URL. But we'll go with discovery. That makes more sense. And then I want to put an example of the response in here. And I wonder, well, once I get this built, I should just be able to stand that up on my own. But I kind of want to put it out just right now. Let me think on this. Acme relay URL. Okay, let's go mgmt.v2 I'm going to call it that. I'm going to go ahead and, oh yeah, the record's already set, so no big deal. DNS record is set wildcard. Okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, turtles in a half shell, turtle power. I guess it depends on how old you are, though. That's what it was being a child of the 90s, having watched the proper Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon with April in the yellow jumpsuit, not April, the woman who thought that she was being green screen in a adult film. I just hate how modern movies are ruining things that were wholesome. You know, Power Rangers became the Breakfast Club Part 2, right? And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles became just kind of sick and gross, as did Transformers. But all of these as a kid, these were wholesome things. The Power Rangers were the good guys who wanted to do the right thing, discipline, self-respect. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were, awkward teenage turtles that were sentient, that were trying to learn the way. The Transformers were trying to protect life. Well, yeah, yeah, I'm glad that the new TMNT gives you, I can't say that. It's just Ninja Turtles. That's how we shorten it when we speak. I'm glad the new one gives you nightmares. Oh man, oh just the scenes with that I forget what her name is, but I guess she's just a lot of people think she's really hot. And so they had her just doing all sorts of weird, awkward things, just really creepy, awkward things that you just don't want to see a grown woman doing in front of children in a children's movie. Ugh, it's so gross. Ugh. And then The Lion King, I don't think that the starry letters in the sky were a thing. I mean, some of the Disney stuff is real and some of it isn't. I did actually see myself. I have the VHS tape of The Rescuers Down Under. There is indeed a uh, a nude bust in the window. That was real. Uh, the one about Lion King, I don't think that was real. I think that's just the human mind likes to turn things into things. Also, the at least one of the Aladdin claims is completely fake because if you know what the words were, then when you hear it, it totally makes sense, and you can get the transcript of the movie. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so I guess we just go ahead and build this and then see what we get. Reverse proxy for matching incoming requests. What do I do? So this is the API host name. So the API, if I go to devices.v2.telebit.io, I'm probably going to get a not found. And I think what I want to stand up is a very simple API docs page. Maybe. I've seen the Little Mermaid cover as well. Or I don't know if I'm thinking about what you're thinking about. That one, I don't know. Yeah, the towers are a fill in the blank. Yeah, sure. But they are towers that are made out of sand. So, you know, whatever. I think there's a better argument for the priest. I think that could be just, general boy humor. Okay, so we're going to have a response look something like something. Let's figure out what that something is. So I'm going to go into here. Let me see, does this have what I need to build? Oh, I need to update that as well. Okay. So API subscribers. Let's do go generate mod vendor. Oh, and now I don't think we have to do the mod vendor anymore with the latest Go. Oh, I have to get the latest Go. Let's do Webby. Webby going. If this doesn't work, which it may not with the new version of Go, then I need to go take a minute to fix that on Webby. So, but with the latest Go, I don't think we have to do dash mod vendor anymore because I believe if there is a vendors folder with a modules.txt or if there's a go.mod and it has a particular directive in it, then everything will default to doing mod vendor by default. Oh, interesting. Oh, bless me. Do I have Go releaser set up for this? I have to double check on that. All right, this is taking a while. So how's everybody doing tonight? And by the way, Nerd Next Door, nice to have you as always. I can always count on you to bring the inappropriate comments to their maximum value. Well, that's good. I think. Let's go ahead and update. All right, go generate dots dot slash. I'm going to put mod vendor here for now just because I'm not 100% sure that this will be up to date. Oh, nice. That worked really well. Working on provisional patent. Not much software stuff lately. Can I ask what the patent is for? I worked on a provisional patent once. Well, it became a real patent. I actually own a patent. Believe it or leave it. Unfortunately, I'm not super proud of it. One of them I think I was taken off of because of the whole issue with how things went down with Dapley. I never signed it. I refused to sign it because something smelt funny. And so I don't know if it was ever issued or not. Here we go. I have a patent for a peripheral device coupling. Actually, there's two. I'm a little confused because it's the same patent, but it looks like it's been awarded twice. Basically, it's a locking mechanism for, or not an alignment. Locking isn't quite the right word. A self-aligning mechanism for a USB-C coupled device. So stackable storage is what it was. So the server goes on the bottom, and then the idea was that grandma with her shaky hands would be able to put the device on top, and then it would fall into the groove, and then you turn it, and then it would align and fall into the second groove, and then align with the USB-C so that it would go in. So then the first mechanism was just an outer ring that was a depression, and then the second mechanism could be another ring, or it could be a logo, and then just. I don't think I actually have the right to this. I don't know if in the way the deal went down, I don't remember if I got the right to this, but it doesn't matter because I wouldn't use it anymore. Because, oh, let me bring it up. I'm looking at it over here. But I wouldn't use it anymore because the technology that I was trying to work around just doesn't matter anymore. The way that things have gone, SD cards are now useful enough that you could just have multiple SD card slots in a device, and you wouldn't have to stack an actual solid state drive. And there were some issues with the thermals and whatnot. Yeah, well, you go ahead and be paranoid. Don't tell anybody. It's a secret to everyone. Okay. So that did that. Let's go ahead and do the build as well. And then hopefully this gives us our Telebit relay. I'm going to create a build relay.sh. I think I've already got one in here. I should search for that. But I'm going to have it that it moves it into the service directory. Do we already have this? Nope, don't have it. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to create a bin here. I'm going to do build relay.sh. Telebit relay. Bin. Wait, let's see. SRV Telebit relay bin. And then I think what we wanted to do was say if this file exists, then we're going to rename it with today's date. So we'll do move. Actually, I think we could do one better. I think we could do my version equals. Let me see if I've got version implemented in this thing. Hold on. Telebit relay version. Good. It's too much information. What could I pull out of that? We could turn these. I like the way that Apple does this, by the way. Turning the colon into a dot. So we could cut this. We could do cut dash F 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could do delimiter is space, and then field is 4. And then we could replace capital T with underscore. And then, yeah, that looks decent enough. So I'm actually going to do this. So here's our build. RM-RF. Okay, watch what I'm going to do here, everybody. This is the magic. So we're going to copy this as its dated version, and then we're going to make a link of this to this. I think that's how this is going to work. Let me try that out real quick. You'll tell in a week. Excellent. So can you give, it's not software related. My wife's former childhood neighbor has a patent on a utility vehicle axle for climbing sand dunes. So it's one of those four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive type of things, but specifically for a UTV, ATV, uh, dune buggy style vehicle that does rock wall and sand wall climbs. So the buggy can go at angles that are incredibly steep without tipping over or losing power. Well, obviously lose some power, but it's remarkable. Okay, let's go check on the other side and see if this worked. All right, that's it. Oh wow, 15 megabytes? I guess it's because it's got a lot of debug stuff in there. Okay, let's try Telebit relay. Extra logging enabled. Neither HTTP 01 nor DNS 01 proxy URL detected nor supplied. Okay, what is going on here? Trying to think about that. I must have in this, I think I kind of remember this. So under command mgmt, acme relay, and DNS01 relay disabled. Try and remember. Where did I put this? Studio-oriented fixture for hardware. Okay. Cool enough. Makes sense. All right. So what I need to figure out proxy HTTP01. I don't want a proxy HTTP01. Acme relay URL. The base URL of the Acme relay, if different from the Telebit's relays directives. Okay. I'm trying to, what did I do here? It seems that this should just work by default. Doesn't seem like I should have to have an Acme relay URL. Acme HTTP 01 relay. I need to go look for the admin API for this thing. Endpoint tokener. What was I token when I made this? Okay, I got to think about this. So the way that Acme works, the Let's Encrypt protocol, is that if a request comes in for a domain on port 80, so so it'll well if a request comes in for a domain, the domain is in the config file. It'll start the request process. And maybe I just don't handle that all in here. I just don't remember, but it appears that maybe I don't. Config.acme. Let's see where this goes. Mux all. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Hmm. You know what else? Whoops. Let me go take a look at the README because I may have been doing it wrong. Maybe I did not put the Telebit relay in relay mode. Telebit relay, Acme HTTP 01. Okay. Let's try like that. I also need to do this step, lest I forget. CapNet bind allows you to bind on privileged ports, meaning ports that are under 1024, that are reserved for administrative use by the operating system. So I don't think that's going to make a difference here, though. Okay, it says acting as relay, so that's good. So it knows it's supposed to be acting as relay. I guess I'm just... Let's see. Whoops. Acme relay. I should see something under the management service, I think. Acme routes. Yeah, right here. Internal Acme routes. Acme relay, Acme solver. Handle Acme challenges. Okay, and that's all right up here. Domain token key auth challenge type. Create the challenge. Okay, so this all makes sense. I think this should be included internally. This should optionally be included internally. Handle DNS routes. Do I need to do anything to initialize all this? And what is this in? Internal management Acme routes. Yeah, CMGMT. Do we have any? Oops, let me try this one more time. Go up to the top here. Auth store stuff. All right, we've got the present. So basically all of this, I'm wondering if this just shouldn't go in a different place entirely. Let's say we did move this. Let's say we just took, let's take this file, let's copy it, and let's just move it somewhere else. Internal, HTTP 01 proxy. Hey, there we go. Listen and serve. Join URL path. Why? Okay, let me finish watching this. I think auth URL proxy HTTP. Why would I have that not be handled automatically? Okay, admin list devices. None of this looks relevant. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna make this directory Acme routes. And then I'm gonna put in here acme routes.go. And we're just gonna see what it complains about. If this is sufficient. Yeah, because I think, well, that's not quite right, is it? Hold on. What was I looking at before? Acme routes. Oh, you know what? My Vim is not set up. Let me go ahead and Webby Vim Essentials. And let me go ahead and grab these as well, just in case. Yeah, by default, Vim only lets you copy and paste 50 lines. And that's really dumb. I don't recommend that you do that. All right, another. Time to switch over to water. All right. Now it's more reasonable. So what I want to do, oh wait, did it work? Nope. Oh, there we are. Interesting. So presenters and cleanups are somewhere else. MW key, middleware key. Create challenge. I don't really care about that though. Do I? Create challenge? I guess I do. Hmm. Needs a token for off. I don't know. This just seems wrong. Something seems wrong here. It's my own fault for not documenting this well enough way back in the day. We just shouldn't need this relay. That's the thing that's confusing me. All right, where am I using magic cert? Cert magic. Cert magic. Okay, where are we using that? Oh no. And this is my own fork of it that who knows why I created it. I'll have to update to the latest version at some point. Interesting. Cert magic. Okay. Cert magic. Acme Z solver. Okay. Oh, this I think is an interface. So any solver that matches should do. But we should have a generic HTTP01 solver. Yeah, storage, file storage, new cert magic, Acme. Get certificate. Acme cert, get certificate. I should turn numbers on, especially since we're on stream. Somebody might be able to help me, you know? So I went into my vimrc and I added set number to the bottom. All that rest of that stuff is from Vim Essentials. It's just sourcing really, really basic standard plugins. Okay, cert magic, new cache. On-demand decision function. Interesting. I'm wondering if I override that somewhere else. Okay, so Acme solver. Enable HTTP challenge. Enable HTTP. Okay. So that's what passing that argument was for. So I wonder if... It's because I'm not... Okay, let me try this. Let me try this again. If I run it, what's the error message that I'm getting? I think this should be okay. Am I the one that created this? Yes, I'm the one that created this. Let's go back to where I created it. Neither. All right. So I think I need, for the server, it already knows what URL it's going to try to contact it at. And I think it knows, where do I have the well-known setup? Let's take a look at that real quick. Dot well-known Acme. Okay. Acme routes there, but we should also have it elsewhere. Okay. Listen on port 80 and forward well-known traffic to this URL. Okay, I think I get what I was doing with that. So maybe I will run the management service that I have provided here just for that purpose for now. Um, well, let's do this. Let's go ahead. Oops, that's not the right place. For the purposes of getting this started, I'm just going to go ahead and enable this even though I know it's wrong. So to do, this is wrong. So I'm not even going to set it up. I'm just going, oh, okay, failed to bind, permission denied. Let's go see what we can understand about that. Build relay. And, interesting. I think we have to set cap in the location. Ah, yes, because we're copying it. And that is not going to be copied. So we need to set this at this location. I think is what has to be done. And I'm not sure. Might need to have a read link there as well. Let's see what happens here. Well, first of all, let me just copy and paste this line rather than rerunning the script that's going to cause a rebuild again. By the way, hello everybody, how's it going? I'm AJ O'Neill. I'm working on this project. Oops. Telebit. I want to integrate payments into it. And so this is the current working version. We're working on V2 that will have pro features. Hey, Easy, what's up? Yeah, so I became an affiliate. I got rated last week, and I think 45 people rated, and about 30 of them stayed on for 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours. I think more than two, maybe even 3 to 4. And so that big raid pushed me over the edge. I finally tipped over into the affiliate program. So now you have to tell me what I should be doing. But yeah, I've got stuff unlocked. I haven't learned about it yet. I'm waiting on you to teach me. Specifically you, Easy. Or anybody. Okay, what was I doing? This? Okay, it didn't like that. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we can do this. Great. It's saying it's going to respond to API requests. Let's see if it does. Let's just go here /versions or /version and see if it works. Let's see what we see here. Present DNS 01 challenge solution. Cleanup. Really? I'm not sure how that's going to happen. It should be HTTP 01. Did I not do it right? Acme HTTP 01. Okay. Why is it doing DNS 01? That's not what I turned on. I turned on HTTP 01. Bah. Cool. So you get a bunch of new emotes now. Or I guess, what is it? You get to use any emotes that you can use in any other channel you can now use in this channel. I read something about it, but I don't remember what it was. Okay. I said okay, and then I didn't say anything. Um, hmm. Why would it say DNS01 challenge? Let me scroll back here. Oh, I can't scroll back because I'm using screen. Maybe I need to have this in another tab. Well, I can scroll back. I can scroll back using screen. I just have to hit, was it Control A escape? Yeah, there we are. Using, wait, DNS01 solver, but it can't be using the DNS01 solver. Okay, so that's part of the problem. Let's get it, let's figure this out right now. DNS. I did not turn on DNS. See traffic on port 80. Hmm. Okay, name com API token. Hack, 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 hack. Yeah, I remember that one. I think didn't I raid a channel once and then you did that and then they had that hooked up to do the matrix thing or some other it was hooked up. I think it was hooked up to a Giphy meme or maybe they just had that on their little soundboard, you know. Okay. I'm just really confused right now because 2 years ago, the last time I had this, it was working. And now, magically, bit rot, it's not working anymore. DNS01 solver. Yeah. Okay. So one thing I need to change in the .env file is I actually need to change this to Acme Relay HTTP 01 URL, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check and see. Relay whoops. It's either HTTP 01 relay. Let's see. HTTP 01 relay. Let's go back to that. So I think I know why I exported this, but I also think that I need to have a way for this to work internal. Hype machine! I think you rated someone who gifted me a sub to their channel. So how do you gift a sub? What does that even mean? Do I have a certain number of subs that I can give out? Hmm. What did I do? me HTTP 01 relay. You know, I think what happened was the way that I was implementing this with the client, I may have never used the HTTP 01 other than kind of for debug. And so it may be that it's just not actually working. Oh, you can give as many as you want. Okay, cool. So how do I do that? Do I just do I well, first of all, I think I need to have at least one real sub, right? Before I start gifting away all the things. You know, whoever's going to be the first sub, the numero uno sub, uh, well, okay. Now, what does it say? Gift a sub now to be number one. Gift a subscription. Oh, whoops. Did I not hear that? That I didn't hear the dong go off. Whoa! Easy. Sweet. Now what do I do? What's next? And if I gift a sub, is that for a month or is that for forever? Thanks for educating me on this, by the way. I appreciate it. And thanks for giving a sub out of the kindness of your heart in spite of my stone heart. Okay. I'm just wondering if I'm actually going to be getting this set up. Yeah, I am, because I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just follow along with building the management server. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to run the management server that I already have, and we're going to let its HTTP 01 relay do the dirty work. Okay, so I should just be able to look at the README for this, build it, and go. So this is also going to have, this one actually shouldn't need to have capnet bind. But we are going to need, I'm going to make another one of these screens. I'm going to start fish again. I'm going to go into serve. I'm going to make Telebit MGMT. We're going to go into there. We're going to make a Ben folder. And then I'm going to follow the same steps that I did with the, whoops. Here we go. Ben build relay. But we're going to do this for build MGMT. I can gift up to 12 months. Easy sub themselves. No, I was saying thanks to Easy for out of the kindness of his heart subbing. We're having this conversation about gifts. And then I was saying, no, I can't gift out my first sub. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to be the first one. And then, you know, before thinking through the logic on that of how terrible that makes me sound and maybe even makes me, Easy went ahead and just subbed, and it was, you know, good. Ooh, produce inorganic growth. Got it. I'm just here to watch coding thought processes and rants. All right, cool. Well, it's a tough one today, boys and girls. All right, let's try this. Build management. Oh no, I have ads. Is that... Oh, so before I didn't have ads and now I have ads? That seems like that could be annoying. I think I'm sorry. I can turn ads off for subs. Should have never done this affiliate thing. Should have just let it slide. Now I've got more complexity in my life that I don't really want to manage. I should just go turn it off. Unaffiliate. See, they got me. They got me with the gamification. Little did I know. Little did I know what they were really doing. Okay. I'm going to go back to this one and back to this one. We're going to look at examples. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to copy it over into server management.env. Paste it in here. The base domain is going to be, I think I called it tunnel. Is the device domain for which all devices will be given a subdomain. Interesting. So this is going to be v2.telebit.io. I think is what we're going to go with. Tunnel domain is tunnel.v2.telebit.io. For the management server itself. Oh no, and now I gotta have the Postgres database set up too. All right, well, we'll do that. What gaming chair? Gaming chairs for nerds. You know what I have? I have the best chair money can buy. And I got it on sale from Craigslist. This right here. If you can find a better chair than this chair, I will be interested to check it out. But this has more adjustments in terms of, lumbar support, stiffness, seat positioning, depth, the little hand rests, forwards, backwards. It's not perfect because I'm too large, my limbs are too long, etc. But I don't know that you can get better than this. If there is a way to get better than this, by all means, let me know about it. But this is a daggone comfy chair. I've got the black one. Looks just like that. But by all means, yeah. So a standing desk, that's, yeah. It works. It's not for all occasions, but yes. Also the standing desk. Okay. Should be the same as the management server secret. Okay. There we go. Okay, and I got to get the Postgres set up. Port on which to listen. I think I actually... Oh, localhost port. That's if I don't want localhost, I do that. For the bash tests. Okay, so I don't need to set this. Unless I want to run the bash tests. Which I probably want better tests than that. Okay, so we'll go with this for now. And then I'm going to need to get Postgres up and running as well. So let me go ahead and do this. Deploy Postgres. So I think I just do Webby Postgres. And that's mostly what I need to do. Just that yawn made me want coffee. RGB. Is that a type of chair? Okay, I think I just initialized this. I can start the server. which I probably will want to do actually. I think, yeah, database was initialized, user and password was set to Postgres. So for the database URL, that should be right already. So I think I'm going to create another screen and go into, I don't know what I'm going to go into. I think I'm just going to run Postgres right there. Server started. Uh-oh. I guess I did that in daemon mode. Darn. It's not really what I wanted to do. But, okay, we've got log file at least. So we'll do tail-f log file. It says database was shut down, and then it says database is ready to accept connections. So which is it? Now there is a Postgres file. I always forget about this. But there actually is a Postgres file that you can, I think it's Postgres file. Maybe I was thinking of MySQL, but I think you just Postgres. You can put a file in your home directory that's something like pgconf or pguser or something like that, and then it will be the default URL. Let's see. We are going to do, I'm going to go back around, back around, back around. Yeah, let's go ahead and export this path over here as well. There we go. Okay. Cool. So database is set up. That's good. Bravo. Let's go back to looking at the README and see what options I'm probably going to need here. Probably need to change a few things out. Maybe not. Yeah, there's Postgres. Register a new device, API. Okay, go build. Generate admin secret, authorize device. Show the data of a single device, deauthorize device. Where did I have just run the server? MGMT. Oh. This should be HTTPS enabled unless on localhost behind the 12-bit relay. What do you think about this? Okay, got it. So let's go back here, bin Telebit management. All right, cool. DNS01 relay disabled just the way I wanted it. And let's try running this relay again. Okay, good. Only using HTTP01 solver. Let's see if we can get this to respond. Let's get either of these to respond. So we could try this one again and see what this one says. All right, so it says it presented the HTTP01 challenge and it did the cleanup. So I think this should go through. Let's see what it says. Lock, removing then retrying. File storage. Okay, I think it worked. Maybe? No? Did not work. Dang it. Bitrot's the worst, isn't it? Oh, don't you mean... Did you say R... Okay, RGB lighting. Right, got it. Yeah, that would make it faster and more comfortable. Hmm. I wonder what's going on elsewhere. Oh, okay, good. Token was parsed but not valid. All right. No rows in result set. Oh, there's probably some sort of initialization I need to do. Oh yeah, I want to find out if I have epilepsy. That's been one of my life goals for a long time. To determine if I can have epilepsy. All right. So register a new device. All right, what did I get wrong about? Let's take a look. All right, secret. Starts with MA, ends with PH. Let's take a look at the other one. Starts with MA, ends with PH. So if that's true, then let me go read the part about signing. Oh, I need to put the vendor ID in there too, don't I? Wow! Epilepsy, epilepsy, no, epilepsy, activate. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Can we make those motion active? Because I think that just seeing colors won't cause epilepsy. I think that you actually have to make them blink and strobe. I think there's a website for that. All right, I'm gonna read through my documentation again. Admin token. Did I set the vendor ID? I think I may not have set the vendor ID. I definitely set the vendor ID over here. Vendor. I set a vendor ID somewhere. I remember doing it. I guess that doesn't really mean much. Too bad the animations don't work on your chat. So wait, do they work? Oh, they do work in the Twitch chat, and I see that now. Restream doesn't seem to support the animations. You know what though? I think that's actually for the best because I kind of ticks me off when there's just nonsense movement. I don't like it. So I'm actually going to call this a win. I'm going to call that a win for Restream. So I think there's token was parsed but not valid. Invalid JWT header KID. That doesn't make sense. Why? Whoops. Let's go back on this one. Let's go back to the source code real quick. Token not valid. Okay, so parse with claims. I do kind of want to turn on debug mode for this. Let's do that. Let's turn on debug. And actually, let's do help real quick and see what options we have. Okay, port to respond to. Let me look in here, MGMT. Didn't I have some example? Could have sworn, well, tunnel domain, challenges port, DB URL, domain string, secret string, tunnel domain. All this stuff is correct. Okay, again, challenges, DB URL, domain, listen, port, secret, tunnel domain. Yeah, there's not really anything for me to specify there differently. I wish I finished projects to completion every time. I actually had really good documentation for this. I had tests for this. So it should work, right? Okay, so it's not missing. Oh. Oh. I gotta register the token. Duh. Okay, that makes sense. I think that was in the README. I think that was actually in the documentation. Okay, so let's go back. Create admin token. All right. Vendor ID. Secret. Oh, debug is the option I was going to enable. But I don't think I need that for this. Okay, we're going to have a vendor ID. We're going to have a secret. Register new device. Authorize device. Okay, so we do need some sort of vendor ID, I guess. All right, I'm going to get back to the chat here in just a second. But let me finish this up. Oh, look at this. Management pre-reg. I wonder what this could possibly be. My client. Shared key. Oh, no, that's not what I'm looking for, actually. Let me look for any shell scripts we've got in here. Example. Management, ping as admin. I think that's what I want. Postgres install, run as relay, run as client, sign JWT. Okay, so I got a lot of stuff here. Vendor ID, management secret. So maybe I should fill out some of these. Vendor ID is v2.telebit.io. So that's what the vendor ID is. Management secret, we kind of already know that. I'm just going to fill it out in here anyway. Okay, management secret was this secret right here. Okay, let me check chat. Oh, recently learned that Web 3.0 is used to mean semantic web before it meant blockchain. Oh, burn. That's too bad. That's too bad. But hey, this is what the world is, you know. Whoever co-ops first wins. It's very unfortunate, but it is definitely the way of the world. Okay, machine PPID, management token, vendor ID, secret. My parts. Okay, so basically, I need to create an admin token for this. Somewhere, okay. Secret token. Let's take a look at this. I want to decode this. I think I used HMAC signing on this, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in here. Yeah. That's the public part, right? Okay, so I need to register this in the database, I think is basically what needs to happen. I go back. Vendor ID equals v2.telebit.io. Let me just double check on. Oh, nope, not there. Okay. All right, so I ran this. Hey, what's up, Internet Bird? I'm doing good. I am just I haven't touched this code in about 2 years. So I've got this service here, telebit.io, or also telebit.cloud. It's got 4 different domains because reasons. They're legitimate reasons because segmentation for I'm not going to go into it, but it's not just, oh, I wanted to get telebit dot and then 4 different TLDs. It's that I got them on purpose. Anyway, so telebit.io, and this is working. Everything's going fine. I want to add payments to it. And so I'm standing up a new instance of the service to get this started. And unfortunately, I'm just having a hard time remembering what the letter L I was doing. which is one of my constant problems. Is when I pick up a project from months or years ago, trying to get back through it is sometimes hard. What are you up to? Okay, so all I need to do really here is I just need to figure out how to get this into the database. And I'm pretty sure it was in the README. I was just not looking. But let me look on the web because it's actually a little bit easier to read on the web than it is to read from Vim sometimes. Yeah, it doesn't just sometimes happen with projects you didn't touch for a long time. It always happens with projects that you didn't touch for a long time. Yeah, so my goal is to be able to integrate Dash payments. If you're not familiar with Dash, it is a digital currency that is actually not intended to be an investment scam, but rather intended to be actually fun money, internet money. I actually have, if I can pull this out here, because this is real. It's not just some wacko thing. There's a lot of so-called cryptocurrencies out there that can't function as currencies at all. Oh, come on, focus. You can do it. I know you can do it. You want to. Okay. Maybe if I do this. Anyway, this is actually branded as Dash. So it's not like BitPay where, oh yeah, there's 100 different quote unquote cryptocurrencies that it works with. Dash is, if I have my way, Dash will be the Apple of digital payments. That's part of what I'm working towards. And this is the first, as far as I'm aware, this will be the first service that is paid in Dash. It's probably not the first service that's paid in Dash. There's probably other ones. But the first service that's just a normal everyday kind of service that you'd want to use. Anyway, so local application, build, install. No, I don't want to be in this folder. Dang it. Go back here and go to management. Yeah, so this is a normal everyday MasterCard debit card. So let's see if I can get it to focus on the card. Pick the card. There we go. There you go. Yeah. So it's a normal MasterCard debit card. So anywhere that MasterCard debit cards are accepted, which also includes anywhere that MasterCard credit cards are accepted, Dash Direct is accepted. So if you go to, it's still in beta. It's probably another couple weeks before it actually functions as a debit card, because right now the PIN, whoops. I thought it was, what the? Oh, dashdirect.org. Okay. I don't know why they did that. So Dash Direct MasterCard, so you go to dashdirect.org, you go to Dash Direct MasterCard. Right now you need two apps. You need Dash Wallet and Dash Direct. Because the two projects are developed, the two apps are developed independently, so they can kind of focus on what they do best. Let me see if I can bring this back around here. Where's the beta? Or is it out of beta? Maybe it's out of beta. No, it can't be out of beta because the pin functionality still isn't there. Why? There it used to say join the beta. Let me see if it says beta anywhere on here. Maybe this is available. Already in the main app. I have the test flight app on my phone, but they may have actually released this into the main app, or maybe they're just about to release it, so they took the beta, the sign up for the beta off the web page. But anyway, you can use it with Apple Pay. You can use it as soon as one more feature gets pushed to set the PIN number on the debit card, then you can actually use it as a debit card, which means you can use it at Costco, you can use it at Winco, any of the club membership um, stores where you can pay with debit should be able to pay. So yeah, I think the problem is a lot of people, to me, the problem is that a lot of people in the Dash community are also in the cryptocurrency community, and I see these as diametrically opposed in terms of investment scams on the one side and an actual functional digital money on the other side. Which, you know, a lot of the hype between the two has stuff in common, but I don't think the two have that much in common. Yeah, what you do is you can either do it at the time that you want to buy something. So say, which I kind of recommend you load it before, because if the internet connectivity is poor, it can take a while for the transfer to happen. But you can transfer the Dash either at the time that you're doing the sale, or you can preload it onto the debit card. So it's not quite to the point where it's fully automatic. I think that it can get there, and that's something that I'm trying to figure out a way to make that happen and contribute to. But I think we can get to the point where when you swipe it, basically, I think the way that it would work is you'd have a minimum balance that you keep, say $200, and anytime you swipe it, what could happen is that you could get a notification that some amount had been depleted and then refill it. So you'd have to have it for the way that the credit card system works, and we have to work with the system as it is presently. In order for it to function, you'd basically have a minimum amount, $100 or $200, basically enough that it would pass any sort of authorization for restaurants, gas, etc., and just kinds of everyday purchases you expect to have. You load it with Dash. You can only load it with Dash. That's the way that it works. But then I think we could get to a point where when you swipe it, it just automatically pays out in Dash back to the card as soon as the payment registers. And I think that would be really cool. But in order for that to work, we have to have wallets that can receive webhooks. And that's I want to get there. And this is in a roundabout way. Not in a roundabout way. This is Telebit was not intended for that purpose. I didn't write it for digital wallets, but Telebit will make receiving webhooks at a digital wallet that's on a laptop or a desktop or whatever possible. Okay, so I created the admin token and I want to register a new device. I'm so confused. Devices. Something is not quite, well, I've already said this. I don't need to say it again. But I did something wrong. I'm just not sure what. So here's the store. There's a init SQL. Maybe, let me go check out where the init SQL is. Maybe I did something wrong there. Internal MGMT Postgres. Okay, so let's say, where was this at? I think it's under assets. All right, where is my init? Assets, files, assets, Postgres, init.sql. Hey, and I can get rid of that way of doing it and use the go in bed soon. By the way, y'all feel free to ask questions. Anything, Go, JavaScript, a little bit of Rust, networking, IT, operating systems, Linux. Okay, so I do need to register this. All right, that makes sense. I'm just missing something here. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, what? Okay, I don't have a debug for this. That's fine. Let's try this again. And then I'm guessing that the other one died. But the question is why? Okay, it's dying because it doesn't recognize the JWT header. So there's some sort of initialization that I'm not doing. Probably because I'm not using my third grade reading skills because I wrote the documentation. It's been pretty decent to me so far. All right, examples. MGMT ping as admin. Okay, relay secret. All right, let's go ahead and do that as well. So this should also be relay secret, right? MGMT port equals. Ugh. All right. Let me just double check. Maybe I do need to register this. Okay. No, that's got nothing to do with the signing there. Okay, I need to... Let me set the port on this. So we got the MGMT port. I forget what the number that I used was. Let me go check that real quick. Serve, Telebit, management, ENV. Yeah, I'll just use that. Let's go get this thing up and running again. And maybe, yeah, we'll go ahead and kill that one. All right, so now that's up. And now let's get back to, which one was it? This script, ping as admin. Okay, that worked. Success true. What am I missing here? I just don't have something configured right. Do you believe writing down a formal specification and process calculus or something similar is ever useful for small projects. I don't know what you mean by formal specification in process calculus. I think that README driven development is good. I think that the problem with trying to plan out a lot of things ahead of time, well, just a general problem is that you have your vision, you have the reality, which includes things that you didn't plan for, and then you have the documentation of what you did, and they often get out of sync. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I don't know what that means. So if you can make something pretty small, the smaller a project is, the less likely you are for these things to get out of sync. But the larger a project is, the more likely it is that you are going to hit some sort of snag that requires you to make a change. And so it's the red green refactor process is the right process. That you red is the stage where you define your goal, but you can't reach it. You fail. You fail to reach your goal. So red is you define the goal. Green is that you implement some amount of code that accomplishes the goal, but it may not accomplish the goal in the way that you thought that it would. So you may discover, oh, I forgot, I need to have these extra parameters. There needs to be access to this extra information. And so you just do some sort of hacky way to get from where you were previously to your goal being accomplished. And then you're at green. And then the refactor stage is where you say, okay, now I'm going to go update the documentation and update the other areas where it's necessary to get the data through the system in the correct way, and you refactor. So that's the red green refactor process. But it's just one of those things where, well, of course we know the right thing to do. It's the matter of having the discipline to do it, which is difficult. If you know, so I think what I'm doing wrong is I think that I am having it connect to the management domain basically incorrectly. Because it shouldn't. Or, okay, create an admin token, register a new device. Vendor ID. Let me go back and check this. MGMT. Just something. I think something is just a little bit off. Let me go back to reading the documentation on these again for the millionth time. Okay, I think that maybe this is my problem. I think maybe I didn't set locals. Or maybe I didn't set the proxy. I don't think I really need. What was proxy HTTP01 meant to do? Why is it different from relay? Examples. Okay, I had pretty good descriptions in here. There's just a few places that are lacking. Okay. So maybe I need to update that locals. Proxy traffic on port 80 to the given target. Maybe I do need to do that one. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look at it again. Nope, not there, not there. Not that one. Let's look at the relays environment variables. Okay, so is this correct? This looks correct to me. So we're saying it's going to reverse proxy this. Great, that's fine. We're also saying the auth URL should be localhost, sure. The relay URL, okay. Okay, we should move this into Telebit relay so that no X, okay. Proxy traffic on port 80, sure. Let's do it. We'll move this over. Let's see what happens. I don't know what that's going to do. All right, let's just try this and see if I run it again, if I get better results. Oh, token is fully valid. Well, that's good. Why did it think the other token wasn't fully valid? That's where I'm confused. Oh, maybe it's because literally this request, hold on, doesn't have any token associated with it at all. Let's try this. Okay, so I think it already would have killed it if it's killed it, which is probably the case. All right, not valid. I guess I do need to register the admin token. I think that's my problem. I'm thinking I shouldn't have to register the admin token because it's the admin token. But maybe I do. Maybe the admin token does need to be registered. Hmm. Let me go back over here again. Something is messed up. Just got to take it slow, not skip steps. Okay, let me first go look back at this. Maybe I need to set the challenges port to 80. Okay, route static. Hmm. Okay, that seems reasonable. Do I have the challenges for you here? No. Well, maybe it should just be that automatically. Someday I should share my software design process. I probably don't have too much great to say. I mean, you kind of see it on stream when I start a new project. I write out a document that's a very informal document that's basically here's some of the APIs that I think I'm going to need to hit, or some of the functions I think I'm going to need to have, the basic overview of what I want the thing to do. And then I try to follow the red green refactor process where I just update. I add more documentation as things are more working, because the more you front load on the documentation side, especially if it's not built into the code, if it's not built into JSDoc or GoDoc or something like that, the further it drifts away from the reality, right? I'm just so frustrated right now because there is some key, just such a small key piece of missing information. Um, it's just so frustrating. Somewhere, because I've done this several times. I've set this up a few years ago when I wrote this. I set this up several times, and there's just one key piece of documentation of this needs to be set like this for this scenario that did exist, that is somewhere that I'm just not thinking clearly about right now. So, okay, there's one last time from the top to the bottom. All right, we want HTTP 01. We're going to have some sort of secret. I should find out. So, questions for myself. Let me see if I can move this over here. I'm going to open up issues. Okay. Questions for self. So doc. So one. How is the relay signing its token for the management server? That's one question we need to know. Okay, what the API host name? Let's just double check that this is correct. We're just going to do some double checking here. The API host name is the host name that it is going to listen for. Yeah, it's the domain that should be captured for the API as opposed to being routed downstream. So this becomes basically one of the because the default behavior is, if I can, I'm going to find this domain in this pool and I'm going to route traffic. So API hostname, that makes sense. Listen 443, that makes sense. All right, locals. We're going to take any HTTPS request for this. We're going to forward it to that. And the idea is that this is actually going to handle the HTTPS at this level. Okay, so here's another question for myself. Does MGMT handle its own TLS? Because if I set it up to do that, then I don't necessarily need this. So I don't know why I'd put that in the example. I'm under perhaps the false assumption that my examples are actually correct. because, like I said, I about 2 years ago I had this working, and I set it up probably 3 different times, and I did not have this much trouble. I followed the documentation that I wrote, which I think I need to find out where. I think there was some documentation that hadn't quite yet made it into the README, that it was sitting in an issue in a repository that I'm not sure if the repository exists anymore. I'm going to go somewhere else. Let's see. Show me things that I belong to. Let's see if I can see this. Yeah, it looks like I've been removed from the project. Well, maybe not. I'm just going to scroll down. I'm looking at GitHub. I'm trying to see if there's the list. If I can find the fork where I had some documentation in an issue. But I think I may have been removed from that project. So we got your repositories. Can I see repositories that you're a collaborator on? Maybe you had a gaming chair before and then got a cursed chair of Craigslist. You mean a chair for adults? Yeah, so earlier this conversation, I have a Steelcase Leap that I got off of somewhere. Craigslist. I don't think Facebook Marketplace was around back then, or at least not popular at all. But I got it locally. It's pretty much the best chair money can buy. It's really, really good. It's plenty comfortable for all day sitting. And you can adjust it. There's lots of adjustments for it. Anyway. Okay, so Acme email, and then the Acme relay URL. This is the other one where I think that this was for clients. I don't think that this was intended to be. Oh, sorry, I'm hiccuping. Again, examples, relay. Let me just read through this one more time. Secret, same as the server secret, used for JWT token creation and for verification. This makes sense. Verbose will cause more verbose logs. Host name, yep, listen, locals, auth URL, proxy. I don't remember what this was for. Okay. This is not for remote Okay, let me look at this. For the Let's Encrypt registration of the API hostname and locals, reverse proxy traffic. This is not for the remote Telebit client. So that's what the other proxy is for. So not for the remote Telebit clients. Okay. So I should have read that. But so this is for Acme registration of API hostname and locals. Okay, deal. So I'm without doubt that this does need to be turned on. That service does need to exist. All right. So good. Gone through all of this. All right, list devices. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Let's see what happens if we do a list devices. Should do nothing, right? Examples, admin, list devices. Okay, I don't actually care about doing that right now. Because, okay, that's going to show active devices. Don't need that. No, don't talk about your neck hurting. That'll make my neck hurt. I'll have sympathy neck pains. Okay. I read through all of that documentation. There's nothing scary there. Also, I'm just gonna look at some of the other. Do we have readmes in here? No, we don't have readmes in here, so I'll get out of that then. From top to bottom here. Secret domain, tunnel domain. And the answer to this is no. So we got this thing broken apart. That's fine. System services. Install Postgres. Create the admin token. Token will be used to interact with the server. Return a new shared secret. Then we registered new clients. Okay. Yeah, so this is if we want to set up a new device, we can use the admin token to create another secret that we can send to one device, and it's good for one registration. We can delete subscribers. I don't even care about any of that yet. To generate an admin token, to authorize a device, show data of a single device, should get a list of connected devices, get a list of disconnected devices, deauthorize a device. All this is good. There's just a critical piece that is missing. There's one critical configuration that I've just got wrong. I'm going to see if I can find on GitHub just private repos. Get a list of just private repos. I'm not finding good results right off the bat. Okay, I want to find your teams. It was on the developer's personal repository. Your code spaces, your organizations, your projects, your discussions. I don't know. What's your products? Your organizations. Let me click on your organizations. Interesting. I'm an outside collaborator on Browserify on 2 repositories. Huh. I wonder what I was doing on that. Scrolling through my list here, just checking to see, can I find where... It's just so frustrating. Yeah, I think I had the documentation that I'm looking for. I think I had it in an issue. I was going to be putting it into the README or updating the format of it or something, and okay, I'm going to try one more thing here. Uh, oh, wait. Okay, I found it. I was able to go through my email and search some keywords, and I found it. Okay. Specific example of setup. All right, there's all of the relay URLs, management URL, example secret, how the DNS is set up. Linux is set up. Okay, how the management server is set up. It's using DNS challenges. API hostname, locals. Okay, looks like it's all the same information. Auth URL. Dang it. Okay, so no. It's the same documentation. I'm just so confused. What is going on here? All right, so we're just going to have to step through this. And the way that we're going to step through it is we're going to look at the management server. We're going to look at where it is saying that, I think what it was saying is the KID is invalid. And I think it's not returning the API correctly. So challenge provider for these. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we've got our auth store. Let's go take a look at auth store. Let's do that first. We're gonna go to internal auth store. Nope. What was it? Okay, this is probably just gonna be, oh, set master. Okay, that sounds important. Add set active inactive touch. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this. Maybe this is simply a matter of I didn't have all the environment variables set correctly, and then the master got set. The master key got set with a dummy value that isn't good enough. All right. Okay, so that looks decent enough. All right, to public key. I actually don't think this is quite right. Let's see. Update authorizations. Set all these things. You know, this deleted at looks suspicious to me. I think I should have made that nullable. All right, where are we at? Let me see if I can just get into the database the old-fashioned way. Let's do PSQL connect bin bash set-e set-u source.env PSQL and then DB URL or something like that. Oops, except it need to be double quotes, of course. Okay. Oh, sweet. They did a smart thing there. This doesn't hit. Ah, that's why I did it this way. Okay, so I just realized one thing that I did that was not dumb, which is that the reason that I'm not handling, I think, could be totally wrong about this actually, but I think the reason that I'm not handling the Acme requests in Telebit at all is because Telebit is meant to have no database connections. No, it's just networking. That's all it's doing. Okay, so let's say we got this in there. Let's go ahead and all right. So we'll connect. All right, let's describe what do we got? Public authorizations. So select star from authorizations. Okay, yeah, that deleted that definitely should be nullable. Can we do DT authorizations here? Describe. There we go. So not null on deleted at. That was stupid of me. This should definitely be nullable. That's a lot easier to deal with. I think I didn't want to deal with the SQL null type in Go, and so I said, oh, well, I'll just use the 0 value from Go, but the 0 value from Go is 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah. So, okay, well, that's helpful. All right, so let me get back here. To public key string. Where did I define that? To public, oops, under internal MGNT, public. Oh, okay, we got it. That's up here at the auth store level. To public key string. So we're just taking the SHA-256, we're encoding it, and then we're returning it. Okay, I can deal with that. That's fine. Okay. So I think my problem then, to public. Let's try this again. So this is used where? In the test, auth store, public key, pub. All right, let's go take a look here. We don't need to be dealing with devices. We might have to deal with it in a route. Okay. To public, register, don't care. Let's go check it out in route. Okay, register device, I don't care about that one either. Oh, and a reminder from me to you. If you like what you like, consider a like, thumbs up, follow, etc. Sub if you want to, because subs are now enabled. Okay. So what is this at? So under API, got this. So store.get. Okay. So anything under API, including relay, is going to go through this authentication middleware. That makes total sense. Handle DNS routes, handle device routes, inspect, register. I want to deal with register. I don't care about that. Ping, don't care. Get a hello. So we have to have an auth token even to get a hello. That seems a little stringent. Okay, and this is, I think this is a misnomer because it's not just the DNS routes. It can be DNS or HTTP. Okay. Oh, bother. So here I am, Acme relay handle, Acme challenges. So we got the create challenge, we got the delete challenge, but we don't have the serve challenge. That's a little confusing. Or maybe it's not. All right, let's take a look at create challenge here. Create challenge. What is it doing with it? I think we put this onto a channel. Presenters. Is that right? Yeah. So we put that onto a channel. That makes sense. Presenters. That's not a common word. All right, so in the route is where we make the presenters. Presenters, yep. And then so once we have stored it, then we call the provider to say, hey, you can present this. That makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is where are we actually placing it? So get Acme challenges. So was I actually writing the token path out to disk in the other file? Let's see. Yeah, okay, so this is actually writing the file out to disk. And then the challenge base. So challenge base is temp base. Temp base is what? Where's temp base come from? Temp base is Acme temp. Where the file's running? Okay. So do we have, it wouldn't be here, it would be under the management. Do we have an Acme temp? Why do I not see an Acme temp? I don't see an Acme temp because we are failing out before we ever get there. Okay. So here's the problem that I'm having. So I think that there's some bit rot, obviously bit rot, in the auth store. Git. All right, so that's the interface, which means we go in here to Postgres to get it for realsies. Okay, string. So where deleted at is equal to this. Yeah, I definitely should have been doing null instead of that business. That was a bad idea. Okay. So go ahead and just log. Let's see. Put in here debug. Debug kid is going to be ID. Hobby. Okay, so key ID. Let's do key ID. Okay, let me see if I can build this. I'm gonna sneeze. Ah, it's coming. Oh, this is hot like wasabi. Oops. Oh yeah, and this of course needs to go to the version. Actually, we don't need that in this one at all. But in the other one, in relay, we do need this to be done. Ah! Tilde in the wrong place. All right. Now, in the other code, I need to figure out where is the signing happening. Because it's got this secret, and it's going to turn it into what? Client secret. Okay, here's our tokener. Pairwise secret. Interesting. Yeah, machine ID, okay. So what I need to figure out here is where the Acme relay really happened. Okay. Wait a minute. No, that makes sense. Okay. So the part that I'm looking for right now is when it's talking to the Acme relay, where, let's see, new API DNS provider. Maybe that's what I need to be looking for. Default config. That's not even it. Dang it. Anyway, the thing I'm looking for is where it's creating the token when it's using this relay. Parse URL, you got the endpoint, solver, HTTP01 new solver. Tokener. I think this is my problem. I don't know when this was introduced. I think the reason that, okay. I think the reason that I haven't seen this problem is because I wasn't actually using the HTTP01 challenges with that customer. And so I think I changed the way this token function works to include the pairwise secret, which makes perfect sense. But then it's not calculating the token in the same way on the other side. Because the two public key bit, let's do HMAC token here. And we can go into internal management, auth store, auth store. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm AJ. I am just coding away. I'm actually starting to get a little bit tired. It is almost 2 a.m. And I haven't been keeping a good nightly schedule where I should be really getting into my stride right now. I'm actually starting to lose it, believe it or not. Crazy, because 2 a.m. is typically my jam, but not today. All right, so two public key string key ID. All right, that should be okay. Key ID. Hmm. So that looks right to me. So now I'm actually quite confused. I'm wondering if it's just been reading in the secret incorrectly. Okay, let's stand these both up again and see if I can get them to talk to each other. All right. Okay, I'm just going to have this to curl https mgmt.v2.telebit.io. All right, let's see if we can see anything. So we got verbose is on. But I don't see anything here about how it's creating its token. Token was parsed but not valid. All right, and I am kind of curious about this runtime error. Oh, hey, what's up, Ethical Zebra? Welcome. You gave me a fright there. All right, let's take a look at this. Internal route 82. Why would there be invalid memory address or dereference? Let's take a look at that for just a second. Can't stay, but I wanted to sub and find you later. Sorry about that. I get startled easily too when I'm focused on something. Well, I have the volume a little louder because often I have the headphones on the desk. So that was part of what it was. But I would be interested to know, what was it that inspired you to sub? Okay. So what did I say? It was 82? All right, 82. So provider dot cleanup, is that maybe we're looking at? So cleanups. So something made it onto the cleanup that was null? Nil? Let's see. Oh yeah, I love Go. I love Go. Check out creedsofcraftsmanship.com. A lot of it is Go talks. I'm very much into software engineering principles, although I don't necessarily exercise all of them all the time myself. But I do like it. All right, so we got 82. It's not quite enough information for me. I want more info than this. Okay, let me go take a look at 77 real quick. Okay, yeah, so it's right here. It says it's 82. What I don't know is which of these. So let's do this. Let's split it out like this, and maybe if I get lucky, it'll give me a different line number for where there's the bad access. My guess is that the cleanup is somehow getting a nil on it. We could also do this. Println, debug, challenge. Let's go ahead and build that back out. Okay. All right, what do we got here? Debug challenge. So that's not nil. So why is it saying bad memory address or nil pointer dereference when maybe it isn't? Okay, let's go take a look back. So where cleanups are being added. So cleanups, because it could be that I am ignoring a check where we don't need to do a cleanup because something else failed. So let's try probably this one right here. All right. So if we had an error, Right, so this is definitely not nil because we can see that it's not nil right here. And these should all be strings, so we shouldn't have a problem with that. And then the error, Not sure what to make of that. But domain token and key off, none of those should be invalid. So let's go back here one more time. Is it possible that the provider could not be set? Let's check that out. And that seems possible. Oops. Provider. So that could be nil. Hey, what's up, Acid Zor? Am I saying that right? So here's a provider. And I'm initializing this with a provider. So is there a way? Oh, okay. So this is interesting. Challenge provider. There, it's all DNS there. I'm initializing it, so it could be nil. But where's my HTTP bit? Interesting. Let me go check out the init process here. MGMT init. So it's probably, well, it could be right here, right? Init. Nope. Where might this be? Let's go look at internal. Okay, provider. So wait, was there a provider not for the cleanups? I'm a little confused here. Again, I'm a little confused. I'm gonna go look for presenters again. Oh, it's going all right. I'm just I've been getting into some old code. There's a bug and apparently a feature that I hadn't been using that I thought was working. And so I've just been reacquainting myself with old code, and it's been a couple years since I've been working in this. But this is for Telebit, which the URL, who says that? Website's telebit.io, and it is a tool that is basically a poor man's VPN. And my goal is to set up the new version of it and get payments integrated in it so that people that want to pay can pay. All right. So here we are. Ah, if type is HTTP, interesting. Hmm. All right. So to do, what if DNS 01 is not enabled? Okay, so I think I'm almost mentally in the right spot again. I need to figure out where, okay, where are HTTP 01 files served? So I'm really not clear. Let's see, I'm going to do debug. Delete challenge ch. So the type here should be okay, ch dot. Oh, ch dot type is not even set. Oh, this is a little confusing indeed. Hmm. All right, so let me go look at this now. Well, at least I'm getting close to one bug. Yeah, no go command. I should probably just put creedsofcraftsmanship.com for that. It's not just about Go, but a lot of it's about Go. Okay. All right. So domain token key off and challenge type. Ah. Hmm. Da 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 da. Bugs in the software. Da 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 da. 99 left balloons. All right, where was the place that I just was looking at? Do I want to become famous? Yeah. Oh, whoops. I hit the block list. Telebit.io. I'll put it in the chat here. Oh, no. No, you went Creeds of Craftsmanship. Creeds of Craft. Let me just do this. Um, there you go. Boom. A lot of good Go stuff on there. Acme routes. Delete. Okay, so what I need then is URL param type challenge type. Okay, and then what I need to double check is that we actually have that's set on the other side. So again, where was the Acme relay used on the Telebit side? Okay. Proxy handle func. Proxy. Okay, so proxy handle func is this. Proxy handler serve. Got it. That's fine. But where is the request being made? Okay, so let me go back here. I know one thing that I need to work through is what if provider is nil? Let's see if I can go fix that real quick. If nil is provider, nil not equal to provider, there we go. Uh-oh. Why did my Go Fump not work? Go Fumped. Boom. Okay, you're trying to learn Go? Yeah, I recommend there's Go by example. There's your basic. There's, of course, the official Go, effective Go. Do you know another programming language already, or is Go your first programming language? I definitely would recommend trying to find a problem that you're interested in to solve, because if you can conceptualize what it is you're trying to do, you don't really want to be learning two discrete different things at the same time, because it's going to become confusing. So you either want to learn about your project or about your programming language. Yeah, if you're learning from zero, then I think that the most important thing to start with is to figure out what problem you want to solve so that you can learn along a particular path. Because if you just try to learn the language and the ecosystem, there's you need something, you need a problem to solve more than you need a programming language, because if you have a problem to solve, any programming language can be used to solve it. But if you're just trying to learn a programming language and you don't have the context of what it is you want to do, then you're going to be struggling twice over. But I would say I think understanding the philosophy of Go is important, which I've referenced a few talks about that in the Creeds of Craftsmanship uh, talks. And do you want to do web development, or what kind of development do you want to do? What is your aim? Try to use Docker's Go SDK and my brain fried. Hmm. Yeah, um, you might want to start with something simpler than straight into virtualization, you know? Are you very familiar with Docker already? Because if you're already familiar with Docker, I think effective Go is is a good one. Let me see if I do this. If I do bang go, does it bring up anything? How about if I do bang go lang? I thought I had something set up for this, but I guess I'll need to go do that again. Um, let's see. Let me give you the link to effective Go. The Go Playground is a good place to start too. Um, I really think go by example, Go Playground, go by example, effective Go, and your basic. I mean, those are my. This one's kind of a smorgasbord, but lots of good stuff there in general. Hmm. You're welcome very much. Now I need to get that chat command baked in. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and build this. And I still don't have the answer to the question of why, for supposedly the same secret, I'm getting conflicts. Let's see here. All right. What does this URL look like? Okay, so that looks good. Token was parsed but not valid. Debug. That does not look right at all. Okay. Is that really what the key says? I think that's the wrong. I think something went wrong there. Because that should be the key. Oh no, it is doing that. Now why would it be doing that? Why how could the key ID be coming out so different? Wasn't doing that before, was it? Alright, let's take a look and see what we got here. Secret. Right? Yeah. Okay, so here's the secret for the token. And just sanity check, just quick sanity check. Okay, we're gonna look at the other one. Serve telebit relay .env. Secret. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted. All right, so those are exactly the same. Okay, so we don't have the vendor ID there. Do we have the vendor ID here? Vend. Okay, let's make sure we have the vendor ID in here. It's kind of important, I think. We'll go over. I'm going to try this one more time, just see if that makes a difference. No, it doesn't. Okay, good. Well, that's good. At least we're getting something that's consistent. Can't complain about that. I do want to make sure that I'm looking at examples. Where's the secret at? Okay, site vendor ID is sample.com. And then let's say the same thing here. Secret. Sample.com is the vendor ID. And let's see. Maybe I made a boo-boo here. Because I put in secret. But maybe what I actually need to put in... No, I think I just need to put in secret. We'll double check on this. Yeah, client secret right there. And then secret here. Just make sure those are handled the same, I guess. Okay, client secret. Okay. HMAC token, pairwise secret. That looks like it's missing something. Oh, okay. This might be where something was messed up. Okay, so we got the tokener. So maybe this actually shouldn't have the vendor ID. Let me try it without the vendor ID. Whoops. I'm in the wrong place here. I don't know what, these kind of seem like they came out in BOGO sort order. Let me look for vendor ID in here. Whoops, not here. Dag nabbit. Okay, let's look for a vendor ID. There we go, and see where all this is used. Because maybe that's actually my problem. I think the vendor ID was only supposed to be used when I'm adding a device. Okay. Let's see. I think this is still going to be wrong if it's done that way. Yeah. All right, so I think all of this comes around to this tokener function is being used in a place where it shouldn't be used. There's that message that says it's in relay mode. Let's see where that gets printed out. Acting as relay. Okay. I think that's my problem right there. Okay, hold on here. This is where it's generating a token. But I think what it should be here is if, let me go back to tunnel relay. Where was that defined first? It's a string. Okay. Okay, so if there's a tunnel relay, let's say secret is config dot pairwise secret. But if len of tunnel relay is greater than 0, then secret should be, what do we call it? Client secret, yeah? Client secret. And then the HMAC token should be using that. Or otherwise, to do change how MGMT gens its token? Probably not. All right, let's see if this one little change will get us back to being able to run the relay. And regardless, I think I'm going to have to go to bed after that. Famous last words, as always. All right. Okay. All right, token was parsed but not valid. So the key ID, the key ID is the problem. It's not getting the correct key ID. And the reason for that is the way that this is being generated is just plain wrong. So here's the secret. Let's see. All right, debug secret key ID. It's going to be secret and key ID. I'll just put some extra new lines in here for fun. There we go. Yeah, I know it's with a redundant new line, but that's how I like it. There we go. Okay, let's build the relay again. Build management again. Should say it's acting as relay. Okay, DNS relay is disabled. Okay, and then what is this? Wait, the secret. What? How the heck did that? Where's that secret coming from? That's no secret that I know. Okay, I think we got something way wrong here. Okay, secret. Do I only use Vim? Yeah, pretty much. Because I like to develop on the actual server where everything's happening. So Vim is the best tool for the job for that. And Vim is a lot faster than most of the other stuff. One of my issues is just when I don't use a lot of plugins in Vim either because I don't like it. I don't think that I type exceptionally fast. Some people have made reference to that, but I think it's just more muscle memory. My fingers know how to type for and function and common programming things pretty quickly. But I'll find that I have to sit and wait for the pop-up stuff to happen. So I don't really do a lot of that. Should I learn how to use a terminal-based editor? If you're doing backend, absolutely, 100%. If you're doing something where you need to be able to develop in the environment in which the code is deployed or debug in the environment where the code is deployed, yeah. Because code's always deployed on Unix. Okay, what was I going to do here? Oh yeah, I'm wondering how in the world did that come through that way? Debug secret. Let's see. Client, pairwise, client secret, config.pairwise secret, client secret. Let's go check that out real quick. What does that mean? Does it not mean what I think it means? So there it is. Client secret. Is straight from the secret. Seems like that makes sense. Pairwise secret. Okay. Config.tunnel relay. Oh, 0. That's probably what we meant to say here. Acting as relay. Okay, so I did it the wrong way just then. So pairwise. So if 0 is tunnel relay, then client secret. Okay, cool. I think this is gonna be correct now. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, build that. Build the relay. And then restart them all. Okay, let's see if this thing will actually work now. All right, something's happened different, maybe. Okay, that looks correct. That's what I'm expecting to see. Still not getting anything back over here, but that's okay. We're one step closer to the edge, and it's about to break. Okay. So that looks right. Fully valid, fully valid. Okay. So what I'd say for that case then is if we do curl HTTP well-known Acme challenges, what's happening there? Not a lot of enchilada, it seems like. I think I need to tell it to listen. Challenges port. Okay. So there's another piece that's missing. Let's see, set, what is it, sudo set cap. All right. All right, let's go with we'll let's see what's the latest one. Huh. Address already in use. So is this listening on port 80? If it is, then that means I may actually need to enact URL proxy. Okay, let's give this a shot. Oh, cool. All right, so that actually worked this time. Amazing. Which means there's a chance that this will work. Maybe. Why was there a delete already? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Let's see, can we do devices? Tunnel.v2.telebit.io. All right, good. We got some sort of SSL failure. Better than nothing. Interesting. Let's see. API hostname is what? API hostname. Oh, devices. Okay, sure. We can do devices. Let's call it devices then. Thought I was calling it tunnel somewhere else. But yeah, let's do that. Devices. Let's see if we can get anything working here. All right, well, I think I'm going to have to head out. I'm a little disappointed. So we got the match, terminate TLS and recurse. We present HTTP 01 challenge solution. I'm just a little bit confused. So the present and the cleanup are happening too quickly. There should be probably a second or two at least. I'm a little bit confused by that. Present. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Watermelon time? What is that? Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna have to let this sit in the back of my head and see what I can figure out. This is a little troubling. I did. Let's see. Oh, all right. Well, I'll just have to think on this and see what comes. This really sucks. I guess I could try to switch over to using DNS01 challenges with Namecheap. That could be an alternate solution. So I'm going to put that in, just in here. Let's see, local to MGMT. How is the relay signing its definition? HMAC token. Do we want to try Namecheap DNS01 rather than HTTP 01 relay? Anyway, yeah, I'll just have to think about these things. It'd be nice just to get it working at all again. Just so weird. Well, I did see that it seemed like that present function wasn't actually running. Hold on. Anyway, I'm out, y'all. Sorry. Didn't arrive at a great conclusion, but thanks for joining in. Thanks for the heckles, Nerd Next Door. Thanks for the subs and follows from the few of you that did that. And I can't remember what I'm thinking. Because yeah, it's late, but
we do what we must because we can.
Let us all remember that. And that is our final word. Y'all have a good night. Adios.